Hello, students. Had a question come in about division with different number bases. So I'm going to pop in here to one of the whiteboards and let's see what we can do. They didn't say what base, so we'll pick. Ooh, that is way too thick. That is not going to work for us here. Why is that so incredibly? Why? There we go. Okay, let's clear those. All right, so let's say we're doing base 7. Okay. So we're in base 7. And we'll pick a number here. We'll say 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by, I have no idea, 2, 4, all base 7. Let's take a look. So you would set this up 2, 4 divided into 3, 4, 5, 6. Now again, these are all in base 7. Everything we do is in base 7. So 2, 4 goes into 3 0 times. You could subtract and get 3. Next one's 3, 4. 2, 4 goes in there. I can see it goes in 1 time. 2, 4 minus equals gives me 1, 0. The next one coming down would be A5. And that's where I have to stop and say, wait a minute, I got to be careful here. So now off to the side in my scratch work, I would start writing down groups of 2, 4. Now I'm adding them together, remembering this is base 7. So 4 plus 4 is 8, which is one group of 7 and one group of 1, 2, 4, and 5. So 2 groups of 2, 4 is 5, 1. Well, I need to get up to 1, 0, 5, so I need more than that. So I'm going to add another 2, 4. Okay, 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, which is 1, 0. Woo, woo! So this is 3. And so that means over here in my real work, I would put a 3 in that place value. 3 times 2, 4 gives me 105 minus equals 0, and then bring it on down. And let's see here. Just be a 6. 2, 4 goes in there 0 times. And so I have 1, 3, 0, base 7, remainder of 6, base 7. And let's try another one. I know that one went too quick, right? So I don't know. 5, 6, 5, 6, 4 base 7 divided by, oh, it doesn't matter. 3, 1 base 7, it doesn't matter. So set up your division. Ooh, that looks horribly drawn. 3, 1 goes into 5, 6, 5, 6, 4. So 3, 1 goes in here. I can see it goes in once. So I might as well do that one. And this gives me 2, 5. Now I bring the 5 down, and I need how many 3 1s are in 2, 5, 5? Again, this is base 7, so in my mind I'm struggling. I'm not as familiar with that. So jump on over to the scratch, and I can say, let's make some groups of 3, 1. 3, 1 plus 3, 1 gives 6, 2. That's 2 groups, plus another 3, 1 gives me 3, but a 9. 9 in base 7 is a group of 7 and 2, 1, so that is 3 of them. I need more. I got to get up to 2, 5, 5. Give me another 3, 1. That's a 4, that's a 5, and a 1. That's 4 groups. Give me another 3, 1. 5, that's an 8, which is a 1 and a 1, and that gives me 2, 1, 5. That's 5. And give me another 3, 1. Let's see what happens. And I get a 6, a 4, and a 2. That is 6 of them. That's as high as I can go in base 7. So that is all she wrote. Write it down. 6 of these gives me 2, 4, 6. Now I have to subtract in base 7. So I would probably do the regrouping here. And this again is a 7. 7 and 5 is 12. And I do 12 and I take away 6, and that gives me 6. 2, 4 minus 2, 4 is 0. Next number come down is a 6. 3, 1 goes into 6, 6. Well, now I've got a little chart here. This chart is my best friend. I need 6, 6. My option here is two of them, because two of them gives me a 6, 2. When I subtract, I get a 4. Bring down. And 4, 4, I would look here again. 6, 2 is too big, so the best I can do is one of them. There's a group of 3, 1. It leaves me with a 1, 3. And so my answer is 1, 6, 2, 1, base 7, remainder of 1, 3, base 7. There you go. I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you soon. All right, off you go.